you can get Etoll ready hassle-free.
Etolls become a reality for Gauteng motorists.
Etoll, the better way to go.
The e-tolling, they didn't consult anyone. They just decided to put it, and it's getting too much for us.
The liberators of this country, those who died, will be opposing e-toll as we speak.
They must remove them. They must remove them.
Public opinion has not been good towards the e-tolling stance by government, and all indications are that it will only get worse. Now, with the lengthy court battle something of the past, civil disobedience towards the issue is taking root.
No one's going to pay it. We don't want to pay it. And they must come up with a solution where they have to fork out the money and pay it.
We must make sure that we stop these tolls will be subjected to this indirect slavery.
Government has promised to implement within a month, and that was at the beginning of October. All the boxes have been ticked to implement e-tolls, and if government is to be believed, it is only a matter of time. With this in mind, implementation is yet to happen.
I've now signed the regulations, and we now submitted the presidential minute. You would know it has to serve before the president, and when he is ready, he will sign it, and then we will be able to make the necessary date of official implementation. But I believe that we need less than a month to just get our ducks in a row and make sure that we start implementing.
The Transport Minister and the party she represents, the ANC, is also aware that e-tolls was always going to be an election issue, especially on the Gauteng footprint. It's not surprising then that there have been some cautionary measures towards the process, from Ministers Boone Ndebele, Ben Martins and the present incumbent, Dipuyo Peters.
We have got limited funds and therefore we'll borrow and will continue to borrow in order to take the country forward. All of us are collectively responsible for the decisions that are taken in the past and in the present.
The Gauteng Freeway Improvement Project is an important contributor to keeping South Africa's economic hub moving. The country's first multi-lane free-flow toll system using electronic toll collection provides road users with a smoother and safer journey.
I'm happy that the bill has been signed into law, and it means now, because we are law-abiding citizens of South Africa, we need to make sure that we obey the law and comply. It's better for you to have your tax in time before we can be able to get the rushes. Everybody, every South African who has got a vehicle that is running on the roads must register.
Separate and yet not is the issue of the general cost of living for every South African, and linked to the e-toll is the cost per litre of petrol. The South African economy is not out of the woods yet. With the recession barely a thing of the past, joblessness in the market is a red flag.
The e-toll system is killing us. Petrol prices are going up. Then now there's an e-toll system. How are we expected to make means?
We cannot afford, the petrol is going up. We don't blame them for that. But the e-tolling is putting pressure on us. So we are really not happy about the tolls.
Not surprisingly, COSATU has come out on the side of the people, saying e-tolls will hit the poor hardest, but also escalate the cost of living, particularly for Gauteng, SA's economic hub. So much so that the National Union of Public Service and Allied Workers has suggested that it will not vote for the ANC next year.
We have no more space in our wallets. They are milking us dry. They say we must tighten our belt, but already the belt is on our bones already. There is no space for us to tighten the belt again.
The trade union NUMSA, supporting Zwelinzima Vavi's call for the non-purchase of e-tax, has fallen just short of also saying that they will not vote for the ANC in the general election of next year. Hardened positions and internal wrangling in COSATU, with particular reference to the falling from grace of Vavi, have not been helpful.
In the past NUMSA Congress, workers resolved to vote for the African National Congress. But then the ANC didn't endorse the NDP. The ANC didn't sign e-tolls. The ANC, we said it must ban labor brokers. It didn't ban labor brokers. The ANC didn't endorse youth wage subsidy.
Probably the most vocal voice in all of this is OUTA, the opposition to Urban Tolling Alliance. It has spent millions on fighting e-tolls, both inside and outside the courts. Wayne Duvenage believes that while possibly the big battle in court has been lost, the small battles outside will be won. Don't buy the E-tag has now become the mantra going forward, with the consequence far-reaching and beyond mere Etolls.
This is not about Joburg's roads. This is about the nation's roads. This is about the efficiency of the economic hub of South Africa and Africa has a ripple effect throughout this whole country. For stuff to get to markets, public transport, rail and everything else is the government's duty.
The Democratic Alliance believes Gautengers will be so angry at having been forced to purchase the E-tag that they will vote for anything but the ANC.
In a world where South Africans don't have jobs, in a world where the cost of living in this province is escalating, in a world where in fact the poorest of the poor face inflationary costs, the fact of the matter is e-tolling is still a crime. Regardless of the decision of the president, the economic impact of what tolling is going to do is going to be one that will resonate with South Africans for periods and decades to come.
The E-tag saga has brought together strange bedfellows, common only the resistance to e-tolling, from business to unions, from the official opposition to Barbie and Kasatu, from the working class to the elite.
To our ANC, on this issue, you are wrong. You are wrong.
The Etolls debate even made its way into Parliament. Some believe not so much because the debate was necessary, but because legislative processes needed to be followed. It was an opportunity taken advantage of by the opposition.
This plan is a rip-off of the consumer. It is simply unaffordable to the citizen of South Africa.
Should you ever get to switch on the Etolls system in Gauteng, you will find that it will have no legitimacy and that it will be ignored in a mass civil disobedience drive unrivaled in the history of this country. The public will go to war against this government, and rest assured, you will lose.
In the same debate, and standing alone with only the support of his party, the former Transport Minister Ben Martins.
It's our responsibility as government to take proper decisions that might be unpopular at certain times.
The final chapter on Etolls is yet to be written. The consequences could be far-reaching. The public debate is still brewing.
If they insist that we must pay for the public roads, the warning from us, we say to you, just as we made the apartheid system unworkable, we will make this system unworkable as well.
Going forward, some might rue the day they initiated the concept. Some might say we fought and lost. Others will just sit and watch. There will be winners and losers in this saga. Just who either side will be, time will tell.